So I want to speak today, with the help of Hashem, a few words of the Piatzasner Rebbe, Colonel Skalman, that was killed in the Holocaust, and he was a very, very big Hasidic Rebbe, very, very elevated, and he was dealing a lot with the Jewish meditation. Didn't call it Jewish meditation, it's a modern word, but definitely I will define what he was dealing with as meditation. And we'll read a few words and you'll understand why. כן האיש ישראל בכל מצווה בין בשכל בין בלא שכל. When a Jew is doing a mitzvah, there is people that are doing mitzvot without thinking about it, just as robots. And there is people that are thinking why I'm doing it, what's the reason I should do it, maybe there's something else it will be better for me to do, maybe there's a better way to do whatever it is that I'm doing. So in both of those cases, ברוך הבא, both of those cases, אם ליבו משתוקק ומתלהב ומתקשר ומאמין באמונה בטוחה וחזקה, משפט אצלו ודאית וברורה היא לו. So when a person he have the inspiration and he have the desire in his heart to understand how to connect to Hashem with this mitzvah, and he have faith that it's possible, believes in all his heart that it's possible to connect to Hashem with every mitzvah. By the way, that's one of the interpretations of the word mitzvah. What is mitzvah? Is like tzavta, to connect, right? To have two things that are coming together. So the mitzvah is to bring two things together. What is the two things? Basically, us and Hashem. Okay. והדבר שאינו מתרגש במאומה, לא בשכל ולא בלב, חוקאי. So there is, within the mitzvot, we have חוקים, משפטים, and edut. There's three kinds of mitzvot. The חוקים is the laws that we don't understand. So when you don't understand, it's very hard to be excited about it. It's possible, but it's hard. The mishpat, something that you understand better, so you can actively get yourself to a point of enthusiasm, to get excited, to have inspiration about it. It comes with the understanding. מתחילה צריך איש ישראל להרבו במצוות ולהשתקע בתורה ועבודה ולהתמסר בדעתו ומחשבתו וכל נפשו להשם. So what is the beginning point of doing all of this work? First of all, a person have to do his best to understand the Torah, to understand the mitzvot, to practice them with understanding. And then with that, there's more and more excitement, there's more and more inspiration, there's more connection to Hashem. ואז ככל אשר משתקע יותר בעבודה ובקדושה, מרגיש בשעות הטובות איך נפשו יוצאת ומתקרבת לקדושה ולאור עליון. This is the beginning of what I wanted to read from here. That when a person is getting more and more involved, slowly, when he's dealing with those things of mitzvot, learning Torah, praying to Hashem, he feels more and more that his spiritual being is identity for itself. It's not only the life force for the physical body, it's a being for itself, independent. that can be elevated even when the body is sink within the material world. And there is times of elevation, spiritual elevation, what we're speaking about, what we're trying to achieve all the time with the practice of the meditation. That in those times, the person feels that is closer to Hashem, is closer to the divine light of Hashem. So in other words, what is translating what is saying to what we're doing, when we know how to practice the meditation and we're able to apply that while we're doing the mitzvot, while we're learning, while we are praying to Hashem, then what we should feel, what is the result that we should achieve, is to get to a higher level of unity with Hashem, to feel the light of Hashem within our soul. Our soul is the recipient, is the vessel for the light of Hashem to dwell within. נשמתו מדבקת בנשמת שקי, ואף הוא גופו בתווך מתלהב ומתיירא, שמח ומשתוקק ומתמוגג. So it's very poetic words. It's hard to translate them to English. My English is not so rich, but I'll try to give you a taste of the beautiful words he's saying. That his neshama, his soul, is connecting to Hashem. And even though he's within his body and he feels the limitation of the body, but he feels the yearning and the excitement of that it's coming closer, the connection is coming closer. So in other words, we can give a certain mashal, certain parable to understand it. It's like a child that is waiting for a vacation, whatever is going, is like they take him to a beach, whatever, then he is getting excited. He's not there yet, but he's excited about it. And so obviously when they're driving there, so the excitement goes higher, more, right? He feels that he's getting closer. So even though he's not there yet, and there is like a whole distance that is separating between him and the beach, but in his mind he's already feels that it's coming, so he's getting more and more excited, right? So in a certain way, it's not exact. It's not the full mashal. But it's a certain angle that within, as long as we are within the physical world, within the physical body, there is barriers. Obviously, we can't experience the full revelation of Hashem's light when we have the physical body. Even a neshama without a body doesn't feel the full revelation of Hashem's light. How much more so when we are connected to the body and our consciousness is connected to the materialistic world. But when we are starting to feel something, the enlightenment that comes to the neshama, so the neshama in a way wants to jump out of the body because it's getting excited. There's something it's coming. The revelation is coming. It's here. And you see sometimes by big righteous people, when they're doing something, some simple mitzvah, whatever it is, they get excited as if like something big is going on, and you don't understand like what is this old rabbi is so excited about? Just whatever, is just doing whatever is normal to do. So and also by us, sometimes a person, he feels all of a sudden that like something is happening. It's not the regular prayer that he is used to. Something extra. What is it that we feel sometimes? Is those certain glow that penetrates through the barrier of the physical, of the consciousness is connected to associating itself with the physical body, it creates a barrier. When light comes in, it's all of a sudden, wow, something new. It's not the regular stuff. And those moments are very, very precious. That's what the Piatzistner Rebbe is teaching us. He's speaking about those moments, and he's saying that those moments are very, very precious, and we have to value them, and to have expectation when that will come again. And whenever it comes, to try to increase it and to stay as much as we can to experience it more and more, because from there it's a big source of receiving more inspiration to do extra, to do more efforts, right? When someone is experiencing something good, so he wants more than that, more of that, right? Whatever it is that it's good for the person. For some people, chocolate is the best thing in the world. So when they eat chocolate, so they want just more chocolate. Fine. Some other people, for them chocolate doesn't make it so much, so they're looking for other things. So what is the source of the pleasure that you're experiencing in your life? This is a very, very important point. When we will be able to go through this transformation, that the main source of our pleasure is spiritual, is by connecting to Hashem, so then by definition, say anything else it becomes to be like a waste of time. Okay, sometimes you have to do some things to get to whatever it is that you want to get to, right? If you want to go to the beach, so you have to drive. So the way there, it's, okay, so you have to be patient until you get there, right? So also here, if a person knows that what he's looking for is the spiritual pleasure, so the physical life, okay, so do whatever you have to do to sustain yourself, to make sure that the family have whatever they need, whatever. But the time that is precious to you, the time that you value, that you're waiting, that you're expecting to have, is the time that you're able to put everything aside and to connect to Hashem, because this is the source of pleasure. This is the best thing that you have in your life. So this is something that is obviously it's not something that is like from one day to another. It's not so much of a decision. Also, we need to make a decision to build ourselves to that direction. But it's work. It's work, because the tendency is to fall back into our old habits of getting into the routine of whatever it is that we do in our life, physical, eating, sleeping, so and so, and to receive the pleasure from there, from the physical life. To get to a point that the pleasure that we're looking for, that we want to have, that we're asking to experience, is the spiritual pleasure. It takes time. It's not simple. Whenever a person is there, so even then, it's not a complete shift. Something that have to strengthen again and again, because there's many years that the ruler of the city is the Yetzer Hara. You know, it speaks about it in the Zohar. Actually, it starts with the Mishlei. It says, "Tov ילד חכם ממושל, כסיל וזקן." There's a pasuk like that in Mishlei. Maybe I'm not exact in the words, but it's better. It's like a smart child is better than an old stupid king, something like that. So the Zohar explains that the old stupid king is the Yetzer Hara. Why? Why is it called old? Because when a person borns, he's the first to be active upon the nefesh. It's called lapeta chatat rovetz. The chatat, the yetzer hara, is like the stumbling block in the opening, meaning when a person comes into the world, right, is going out of the womb, so the yetzer hara is like a garment on the soul of the child, and it takes a lot of time until the yetzer tov comes. The positive side comes usually after the bar mitzvah, and even when it comes, it's very weak because it's only in the beginning stages. The yetzer hara started when the person is born, so you have like 13 years of like ahead before the yetzer hara, before the positive side. So when the positive side comes, it's much weaker, and it takes a lot of effort to strengthen it, right? Specifically for someone that was not brought up religious, how much more so? Because the yetzer hara is not only 13 years, it's until the person is getting to his tshuva, to come back to Hashem, to connect to Hashem with the Torah. So there's a big gap of years that the yetzer hara is the ruler. So the Shlomo HaMelech is telling us that the yetzer tov, that is smart child, is young because it just came to us, but it's better than the old stupid king. So even though it seems that the king is the king, right? You look around in the world, you see that the yetzer hara is he knows his job, right? To say the least. Everybody are happy and satisfied with the physical lusts and desires, unfortunately. Not everybody, but majority of the people. And it takes a lot of maturity to go over it, because this is the default. This is what we used to, right? So we want to find ways, to find tricks to go out of that system, right? We need to have in our backpack a set of all kinds of weapons and tools and tricks that we can pull out in different situations to deal with all of those different situations, all of the different attempts of the yetzer hara to fool us and to grab our heart and to pull us back into our habits. So it's not something that it's like one class that we can speak about all of those principles, but it's important to know that there is a possibility like that, and that's one of the qualities of the tzaddikim. That it doesn't mean that they are greater than the yetzer hara. כל הגדול מחברו יצאו גדול ממנו. So even the greatest tzaddik, so the yetzer hara that he have is also great. That's the way it works. Otherwise it won't be a challenge. Hashem is giving the yetzer hara the possibility to grow with a person, that it will still be a challenge. So the tzaddikim are not. It's not true to say that they are greater than the yetzer hara, unless it's a tzaddik that is like complete tzaddik, that is, it doesn't have anything to do with the yetzer hara. But that's like very, very unique individuals through the history. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like whatever is considered to be like tzaddikim in the normal life that we can get inspiration from them, that they are living around us. So you shouldn't look for someone to get inspiration for that is like totally out from the struggle, because that's something that is out of our hand reach. Usually, if you are so lucky to have someone like that around you, good for you, Baruch Hashem. But I can tell you that I know many people that are looking for those special individuals, and they spend a lot of time to look for them. And I didn't hear about anyone that found. Maybe there is. Maybe I do know about a few people, but can't say, and they can't know. Anyhow, the point is as long as you're fighting, you didn't fail. Someone that is a failure in this struggle with the Yetzer Hara is anyone that is giving up. It says in the writings, it says Sheva Ipol Tzadik V'Kam. The righteous people, they do fall down, but they stand up again. When you have like a boxing championship, when a guy falls down, they count. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's I think it's like if they stay like too long, then they fail the competition, right? If they stand up again and they continue to fight, so they continue to fight, so they didn't fail, right? So we need to fight. Hashem is not expecting us to win, because by definition, as long as we're growing, so the Yetzer Hara is growing. So the struggle keeps on as long as we're alive. Okay? But we have to fight. We have to stand up and fight. There was time that I was waking up the boys that were sleeping next to me in the dormitory. So I was singing to them this song. Stand up. How it's called? Stand up for your rights. Don't give up the fight. Right? There's a song like that. Whatever. I was trying to sing it to them, that like to stand up for the right to pray for Shacharit, right? The Yetzer Hara is trying to keep them like stick to the bed, not to stand up and go to pray. And we have to stand up for our rights. Our rights is to do the mitzvot and to connect to Hashem. So now, after this idea that I wanted to bring from the Piaseczner Rebbe, ended up with Musar, but I guess it's also important sometimes. The truth is that it's very important every day, but that's what came today. So let's do a little meditation. And I want to continue with the meditation that we started before Tisha B'Av about Bet HaMikdash. And Bezrat Hashem, maybe we'll continue with it even more, but let's do something today. So we're starting sitting comfortable, closing our eyes, breathing. Let go. Give all the muscles the way to relax with the breathing. Breathe deeply, and as you breathe, feel that your body is getting released from the tension the anxiety, bring your consciousness into the body. Be aware of the sensations of the body, how it is balanced on the spine, what is the places that you feel pressure, that you feel the weight of the body, the sensation of the garments you wear, clothing. If it's cold, if it's hot. Then slowly we move our consciousness to the emotions, to be aware of our emotions that are active within us. Naturally, every emotion is connected to different things that we went through lately, we are going through. From there we move our consciousness to the thoughts, to be aware of the thoughts, what goes through our head. Come down, relax, even more, even deeper relaxation. Relaxation of the emotions and the thoughts. Then the part that becomes to be aware of the thoughts, a part of our being that is giving the commandment to relax to the lower parts of our being. That the higher part of our being is able to elevate even higher above thoughts, and to connect into the spiritual realms, to ascend spiritual dimension, fly. We're flying in to Eretz Israel. And in the way, as we're coming into Eretz Israel, we want to take a dip in the mikveh to purify ourselves, purify our being. And as we're coming out of the spiritual mikveh, we actually connected our soul to source of purity. To be more worthy, to ascend even higher, and to come into the heavenly Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim shel Mala. And we're coming into Yerushalayim with our being and within Yerushalayim shel Mala, the heavenly Yerushalayim, you can see all of the neshamot of the Jewish people that are connected to the Kedusha, that are dealing with the holy things, Torah, mitzvot, experiencing the light of Hashem that dwells within them. And we're receiving this inspiration from all of those lofty neshamot, lofty souls. And we're going through that, and we're going even higher to the heavenly Beit HaMikdash. And as we're coming closer, we can already smell the good fragrance of the Ktoret. It was filling all of the area. Try to smell it. We're coming closer, and we can hear the music of the Leviim, the beautiful poems of David HaMelech that the Leviim were singing, some of them playing with musical instruments. And we can hear the music of the Leviim and we feel the excitement of coming closer to the holiness, coming closer to the Kedusha, coming closer to a higher level of revelation. And we can see all the people that comes, all of the souls that wants to connect, wants to remove any barriers, that are ready to sacrifice and to give whatever they have to give, just to be part of that, to connect to the Kedusha. and we're coming closer. And we're giving ourselves to the Kohen. We're giving our animalistic traits as a sacrifice. We are ready to give up on all of the lust and desires, all of the anger, all of the negative traits that we have, to give them to the Kohen. That the Kohen will kill them and sacrifice them. And the positive part of our being, which is the real soul, the real essence of our being, is only positive, we'll be able to really connect to a greater revelation, greater level of unity. And the Kohen that represents the chesed, the kindness, is taking the animal from us. We are putting the hands on the animal and we confess vidui, all of our sins. And we pick up our hands, and the Kohen takes this animal, all of the negative traits that we have, takes it away from us to be killed and sacrificed, to be burned on the altar. And we can see that, we can actually see the process, how it is getting slaughtered, how it gets burned. And now we are free to connect to Hashem, to experience the light of Hashem, to be a part of a higher circle of light. And we bow down with gratitude. And we go back from the Mikdash back to Yerushalayim, and we see and we feel the great joy of the Torah, the holy words of the sages that elevates and goes to heaven. We go through that into Eretz Israel, outside of Eretz Israel, and we're coming down slowly, coming down into our thoughts, into our emotions, and try to keep those positive emotions and observe them and experience them as much as we can. Slowly bringing the consciousness back to the physical body. Slowly bringing the movement back to the body. And when you're ready, welcome to open your eyes. Smile to yourself. Smile to whoever is around you. Appreciate the moment that you have, the experience that you have. And Zod Hashem, I hope that we will be able to practice and live those principles every moment of our life. Zod Hashem. And I wish bracha v'atzlacha for everybody, wherever you are. Take the blessings from Yerushalayim, physical Yerushalayim, heavenly Yerushalayim, and bring it into your life. Thank you very much.